What is going on, YouTube? Pass the prop back here again. NBA show ready for you guys on a Friday. Joined as always by my guy Stu. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Been a up and down NBA week for me. Great, kind of lackluster start. Great Wednesday, and then a pretty lame day yesterday. So excited to get right back up here and then win some money today.
Yeah, no, NBA is obviously happy to have my Bucks put on a show last night. That was cool to see them play in like a big game. Playing a game that you're gonna have to win those types of games. In the playoffs. I'm starting to get my Bucks outright tickets ready to go, at least for the Eastern Conference. I'm going to be playing them there. The price on those guys are fucking crazy, dude. Like, absolutely crazy. Like, they were, what, second or third before the season started? And I get it. They shipped Middleton, did all this stuff, but it's like you're betting on Giannis, bro. That's pretty much what it is. You're betting on probably, best player in the East? I think you still got to say like that, right? You still got to say he's the best on that side as the best player. Obviously, the West is way more loaded. The West is just stupid, and obviously assume that whoever comes out of the West is going to get that dub. Because my God, dude, that side OKC. I saw Denver was like 3 or 4 now to make it to the final, which is stupid. So some of these markets are starting to get a little bit crazy. So I'm probably gonna put some bets on Denver, probably put some bets on the Bucks and make it to the final, something like that. These numbers are just dumb, bro. Like Denver before the season, what were they to make the finals? It was stupid low.
Yeah, no, I did that as well. Actually, I did bet a little bit of Denver to win the West, just because same thing as you. Like, this is kind of crazy. I do like the logic for the Bucks with the best player available. I just think I think they're probably third. I think it's probably sure. 1, Boston, 2, Cleveland, and then number 3 for me. So it'll be interesting, but I'm excited. It'll be a good playoffs this year, especially like you said with the West and some of these lesser teams fighting that still kind of rock. I want to see the Rockets, I want to see the Grizzlies kind of go head to head in a big series against these guys. So yeah, I'm getting pumped with you just talking about it right now.
Yeah, obviously this is. I usually don't care that much in terms of seeding, but this year you kind of need it, right? You kind of need to be in a good spot because Cleveland, Boston, talent-wise, are probably the best ones there. But when it comes down to those games where you're in competitive matchups and it's tight, you need to show up, man. Like, what if Boston have to play the Pistons? When do they have to play the Pistons in that second round, bro? That's brutal, bro. Like that's brutal. Like, obviously I don't take much away from the win last time just because there was no Jaylen Brown, but I mean, they beat them pretty bad. Like they kind of whooped them, and put them in their place. So, you have to face a team like that, or you get the Knicks who are just struggling right now, but they have enough defenders that can kind of make it a little tougher for you. So you could see Boston going down early. I mean, the Cavs are just tough because their defense is just so fucking good. That's the tough part. Is Boston's metrics are good, but it's they're up by usually 10, 15 on these lower level teams right away and just beating the shit out of them. So I'm more impressed with Cleveland on my end. Obviously, that DeAndre Hunter, man, that's a hell of a fucking ad, bro. That's a hell of a fucking ad.
Yeah. A lot of firepower off the bench. And even other guys like Ty Jerome has been killing it all year long. I mean, shooting lights out, just having those dependable role players that can fill in for a quick second, and make an impact is obviously a huge deal for the playoffs.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's get to our recap. We can just give a big shout out to Denny for being soft as hell, bro. If you're coming back in, well, let's go. But why would you just stay? I think I saw something people were talking about. It was like a fix or something because he had to be in for over 5 minutes or something. He goes in for 30 seconds, gets to 5 minutes, and then sits. I didn't see that. I got sent that because obviously people saw I had Denny. And I'm like, my book wouldn't have gave a fuck if he would have went out for 3 anyway, dude. They were giving me my money back anyway. But yeah, fuck Denny. He ain't getting back on the show here. That was so soft, bro.
Well, and he came back in and then he immediately left and he cost his team a technical. He just ran off the court in play, which was just so odd. I've never really, even the announcers were kind of baffled, when I was watching it. And now he's just going to play again today. I don't get it. It was so bad, but now you're good again. That seems a little annoying to me, especially because it was a DC game and everything like that. But whatever.
DC game, I think he was the most bet guy as well. When I was looking at DFS, he was like 50% owned. Everybody had bets on him. Not RA specifically, but like PRA, like double doubles. I was seeing pretty popular as well. So yeah, that one stunk, but should have taken the under like you did with the Middleton there.
Yep. Shout out to Middleton, fairly efficient game, but it pretty much went exactly how we thought. He ended at like 18. Like he had a solid Chris Middleton game. The line was just like 2-3 points too high. So hopefully they line that again whenever the Wizards play again tomorrow.
Yeah, no, for sure. We end up getting that one. Tyler Hero end up getting there. I'm by the I had double, which was nice. That one cashed. That was like plus 350. Which was nice just because I had this play already. I wasn't expecting a double. I just usually throw it on them when I have, like I have a PR or something, or, I usually always will throw a double or something in there instead of trying to full on ladder. You end up getting a 10. So obviously Wisconsin guy, huge. Love to see that. So got that one. And then I believe this one cashed as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Giddey was a little slow on the rebounds at first. It took a little bit longer than I expected right there. It seemed like nobody was getting rebounds. But yeah, he came in. Collins had a real good game as well. I think maybe he was the one that had like 16 or something. But yeah, George got the job done. A nice, easy block. Hopefully they don't mess with that price too much. And then, yeah, Josh Giddey did what he had to do. So nice 2-0 right here. A little plus money cash.
Yeah, no, it was nice, and I'm just pissed that fucking Denny cost us the goddamn sweep, and he's fucking hurt on an injury. So, yeah, brutal. Moves us to almost 6 units back up, 18-15 rolling there. But yeah, we head on into today. Pretty nice slate again. I mean, we've been kind of blessed since the All-Star break. They haven't really given us like an off night, where they give you like those 3 games that are dog shit. They're loading us up. So, any game specifically you wanna touch on before we get into some props?
Yeah, I'm gonna have so much money in this Nets Trailblazers game tonight. Like, we'll talk about why in a little bit, but that'll by far be my most bet game. The one thing I do have to say is Donovan Clingan will not be getting my money. He was on the ban list before. I then broke my rule, and I bet him live when he had 8 rebounds against Washington for 12.5. He ended at 8 exactly. He did not get a single other rebound. Yeah, that guy just needs to go fuck himself. So he's on the ban list. But the rest of the guys in that game, I will have bets on for sure.
Yeah, no, it's those are the fun ones, right? Those are the fun ones where you kind of get you're like, it's like almost FOMO, right? You're like missing out because I missed on him before. Now I gotta bet him, right? He's cooking. Yeah, dude. I had my best lineup on that day. I had 2 Denny lineups. I just did 3 maxes. I had a Denny lineup in 2 of them, which automatically fucked you. And then I hedged myself in playing Jeremy Grant and Kamara in the other one. They both ended up doing pretty well. It ended up getting us some solid points there because obviously chalk Denny and Clingan was chalk in that game too against Washington. So yeah, it was I don't know. I don't get it, man. You get so many good matchups. You think you would come through on some of those, but yeah, tough spot. I think for me, I'm gonna have a lot of bets in that Jokic Cade game. Like those 2 guys get all my money already. Now what are you gonna do when they play each other? And you get Denver on the road. If it was in Denver, no chance. They ain't getting my money. But Denver doesn't have a crazy travel either. Like from here to Detroit, it's not like an hour flight. So like it's not like you're cross country flying the night after. I know it was a big kind of emotional game there, but like it's not gonna be a laydown game here. Pistons just beat the shit out of Boston. Like they just put it on them, dude. And it wasn't even close. Now you're gonna go. You get to play against, the best player in the world right now. Obviously, I think that would be voted by most people. I know SGA is probably winning MVP for his numbers this year, but I don't think anybody could really argue Jokic's numbers are far more impressive. Again, putting up some crazy numbers. But you're in Detroit. It's going to be a fun game. I think Detroit's 1.5 point favorite. If I checked that like an hour ago. I think they're a favorite in this game.
-1, yeah, wow.
So some money coming back in on Denver. I saw up to 1.5, but you saw all that late steam on Detroit when they played Boston. Like Boston got up to like 6 or 7, and then closed at like 5 because everybody kind of threw that stuff on Detroit. And I'm like, what can you say, man? They're winning these games. It's not like they're bowing down to these bigger teams. So I think this would be a fun game. I'm going to have bets in it. I'll have a bet on the show in that game as well. So I'm pumped. That one I'm really excited for.
Yeah, no, I really hope Detroit wins. I mean, imagine telling someone before the season that on a non-tanking game, right? On a not like just a regular. I know it's a back-to-back, so theoretically some injuries could pop up, but like Detroit being favored is hilarious and honestly awesome for basketball. So shout out to those guys. I hope the win streak does continue. I probably won't be betting on them as favorites. But and also Jamal Murray just got real probable. So maybe
I just was about to talk about that too as well.
Even out a little bit now that people are less scared, So we'll see what happens. That you're right though. That'll be a really good game, and it's honestly a bummer that Cleveland Boston is on at the same time because those are both kind of bangers right now.
Yeah. Unfortunate. The NBA has to split those up a little bit. Learn what people are going to actually want to watch. I didn't even take a look at the late night hammer. I didn't even see what it was. But I can't imagine.
But Lakers injured from the back-to-back. Like, I don't know if Luka or LeBron played. It's kind of it opened to pick them, and now it's -5. It's -4 earlier. Now it's -5. So that line keeps on moving. People are definitely betting that, assuming that somebody
one of them sits, right?
Which is a safe assumption. It's a safe assumption. So, but I wouldn't touch like 5.5. I got a little bit at like the money line at -150, but I wouldn't touch it at this point.
Yeah, no, it should be good. I will. I'll kick it over to you to start us off, Stu, and just not a game I wanted to that was on my radar of things I wanted to hear bets on. But hey, you want to bet Brooklyn, man? I guess it's all you, my guy.
Yep. Posted this one late at night last night. Zaire Williams over 1.5 threes. So. Williams is a guy I've actually not bet on all year. I'm not going to lie. But when you do look through his game log, no matter what his minutes are, it's not like this. He's a guy that's consistently taking threes. Like recently, he's been playing really heavy minutes, which is nice to see. And he's been doing good in those minutes. So you're seeing an even higher increase, right? You're seeing some of the highest volume of the year. But even if you scroll back earlier in the year, even with Cam Thomas, this is still a guy that's going to take 5 threes a game, and he's going to shoot 38%, on the season so far. So the base volume, I'm projecting him for about 26 minutes tonight. I think he takes a dip from his usual 30s that we've been seeing recently. But you remember, you get the priced in upside. Like you get the upside of a 30-minute game as well because he's been playing great ball. This is a young team. They rotate a ton of pieces. You don't know if Jalen Wilson or Watford or one of these guys is going to have a good game. Like, to be completely honest, his upside, is as high as almost anyone on the team with how he's been playing so far. So there is a really good quote. I'm not going to say it because I don't think this is the best game to capitalize because the Trailblazers have a solid 3-point defense. But if you follow beat reporters, there's a really, really good quote about the Nets' offensive philosophy right now, and it involves taking a lot of 3-pointers. So I will be taking a lot of 3-pointers for a lot of players on the Nets. And if you look at last game's game log, it very much reflects the coaching. And Cam Thomas is back. I do like Cam Thomas over 1.5 threes. It's -170, so you're going to have to parlay it with something to not eat that juice. But I really like that spot as well. Like, it's a bit of a crowded rotation. I think that's the scary part. But we got a guy that's shooting, at a pretty high clip, 38%. The volume, I think at a minimum, is going to be 5 3-point attempts. And this team is taking a lot of threes, and they're going to continue to take a lot of threes. So Portland's solid at defending the three. But the other thing I like too is small ball. Klingon's only really playing 22 minutes a game. He's had foul trouble problems. And guess what? Claxton's back in the lineup. Day'Ron Sharpe just had a fucking awesome game. Like, he had an awesome game.
70 fantasy points.
I know you and me were talking about him after we got off live last time. I think Claxton under is a really good play as well. He's going to be back in the lineup. Claxton scores all of his points in the paint with Klingon right there. And we've seen Portland go small ball literally every single game. They close small ball. It's happened every single time. So I think that also is going to boot Claxton off because Claxton's not been great, and Sharpe just had 2 awesome games. So I think we see more of a small ball lineup. I think we see a spread out lineup, and I think Zaire is going to continue to have some open threes. I like the price at 1.5 right here, and I did take a small ladder on 2 or on 3 and 4 just when looking at the insane volume he's had these last couple of games. So really like the volume here. I expect them to continue to take a lot of threes, and I think Zaire will be a guy that benefits tonight.
Yeah, no, tough to tough to argue with it, especially when I don't usually take coach speak into consideration until I see it actually in action, and then you see it and it directly correlates. Like, there's some of these dudes that just say shit and they don't, it don't mean nothing. I literally could care less. But when you actually can see it actually happen in a game, then maybe I'll give you a little bit, right? I'll give you a little bit on there. So I'm going to go to a fun one. This should be a fun game, even though I think it's going to be a blowout. But I'm going to be playing Atlanta first half over 120.5, minus 110. They're facing off against the Thunder. And I know it's an elite defense on the Thunder side here. Obviously, really, really good pretty much everywhere. I think a lot of the stuff comes from, obviously, the pace upside here that you're going to get with OKC going into Atlanta, right? Atlanta playing extremely fast, but they are the worst first half defense in the NBA. They allow 61.5 points per game in the first half. I watched that Bucks game, bet on the first half over in that Bucks Atlanta game. Slow start, doesn't matter, bro. The end of the first quarter is just an absolute shit show in these Atlanta games. Like, if you start out hot, you're going to see 40 apiece, 35, 40 apiece, right? And even if we get 40, 45 in the first quarter from OKC, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I would take a first quarter over for OKC team total. It's just the tough part is I've seen Atlanta kind of get into these games now where they're just really like heavy on the drives, just trying to drive in there, get to the paint, and try to draw fouls, right? And that's the Trae Young effect. He gets a lot of those calls. And I guess my issue here is just looking at like personal fouls per game, percentage, personal fouls per possession. OKC is bottom 5 in that. And that's the thing is they're very physical, extremely physical. And you're in Atlanta, bro. You ain't getting those home team calls there, bro. Like, I don't like relying on the ref for much, but I've seen way too many Atlanta games, and Trae Young draws more fouls than anyone, probably more than as much as SGA. They're like the same thing where they get down there. It's like that Harden effect. All you have to do is, what is Trae Young? 130, soaking wet. That dude gets touched. That dude's flying. Can you imagine what Lou Dort does when he puts a shoulder into him one time? Dude's flopping over, getting free throws. And then you got a guy shooting 90% from there, right? So I just really like this, the pace. I think OKC can pretty much do whatever they want in this game. I don't think there's going to be an issue anywhere. I saw Chet should be playing in this game. Just to kind of add in, another weapon, like they need it. And I just really like the staggering too, because obviously SGA in the first quarter is a fucking monster, bro. Like, he plays the whole first quarter, but they give Jalen Williams that 4 or 5 minutes, and he's a capable playmaker. And in that early second quarter is where first half overs go to die. I bet the first half overs a lot. Like, that's like my only totals I'll ever bet is first half overs in NBA. Just because I've seen way too many of those second halves. Just like, we're going to actually try here. And we're going to actually, the game is on the line. We're going to try. But those first 5 minutes of the second quarter is where these things go to die. And I think that this is a spot where we're going to get, a ton of threes thrown up by Atlanta. That. I do like the offensive rebounding upside of, Okongwu down there. I think that'll be a fun battle watching him go down there with Hartenstein and Chet. He's been really good lately too. I don't know. People probably aren't watching Atlanta, but I play enough DFS with Okongwu in my lineups because they never raise his price. 28 minutes, but when he's out there, man, he is fun to watch. That dude is explosive. So I think this is going to be a very high-scoring game, at least early and often. And I'm expecting to see at least 65 from OKC in the first half.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I had that same 65 number in my head as well right there. I mean, Atlanta's defense, we all talk about it. They'll let you run. They'll let you get in transition. And they'll just speed the pace up. And I will say the one thing, Trae Young is going to have such a good buy low whenever he gets a good matchup. Back-to-back Miami games, Davion Mitchell had him in hell, blitzing him every time he got by him. Now you get Lou Dort, Alex Cruz off the bench. You know what I mean? Like, this whole team is going to have you in hell. Like, I feel bad for Trae Young. I almost took his under on the show. I will be betting his under today in some capacity. And it's just like, he's going to have a great like buy high when he gets to play one of these, non-doubling teams or these bad point guard teams. Like, let him play Washington. He's going to drop like 40 in a couple days. So definitely do like this. I was looking at multiple role players because I think when you double Trae Young, you got who's going to step up. For me, like Reese Lachey hasn't really shown an ability to do anything. I honestly love that bench unit. I just wish they wouldn't play them all together. because like I like Niang, I like Levert, and I actually like Terrence Mann a lot as well. I've always been a Terrence Mann fan. He's been playing good ball recently. So it's like I like all three of those guys, but they all steal from each other. You know what I mean? So I don't know how I'm going to really bet that yet. I haven't quite decided. But yeah, definitely like the spot. It should be a high pace. Matt, it'll pace up, a pace up spot compared to those two Miami games. And I definitely think we're going to see some offense here. And I mean, you just capitalized it off of last game with Hero. Even when you talked about, that slower game before and then going right back to that Atlanta pace. So like the spot.
Yeah. Hey, short memory, guys. Short memory. I know obviously this is something that if you've been on the show here, you've been watching with us for 3+ years, you got to have a short memory here. I mean, you're going to get cooked sometimes. There's going to be some bad luck in there, but you just got to go with the numbers that you like here. And I definitely think that this OKC team might, if they would let me do like a highest team of the slate, like points scored, I think OKC is going to absolutely run away with this shit. Bro. Like it's going to be a pretty, I don't think they do that. That's why I'm excited for baseball, bro. Give me the highest scoring team, dude.
True.
Give me that 16-1s, bro. Those things are freaking money. So let's take a look. Our guy Paul popping back in the chat. I got some questions for us. Good afternoon, gents. Just want to start with a wagon question. Pirtle over 11.5 RA, no Vooch. Same game, wagon and Zach Collins over 22.5 PR. Is Vooch official out? Is he official?
I haven't seen an official notification.
Okay, I didn't see it. I didn't see official yet.
He's doubtful.
Okay, so definitely. I mean, Zach Collins has been playing a fuckload of minutes, so that's. I will stand corrected. I was not expecting that many minutes last game, bro. Like he played a fuck ton of minutes, dude, against Zubac. He played more minutes than Zubac, which I was not expecting to see that. I don't know if I can play Pirtle just because injury stuff. He was out for a month?
Yeah,
maybe more.
Yeah, about that 24 days. It looks like.
So those are always tough for me. I need those to ramp up before I want to bet them, because how pissed would you be if he gets 6 in the first quarter and plays maybe 2 minute stint in the second? Then you're just like, oh shit, this sucks. And then you just don't have enough minutes for him to do it. I can't imagine he's closing. It's just tough for me because this Toronto team doesn't really give a shit anymore. They're kind of ass now. So they're kind of out of all contention. But I mean, I guess this is the best spot you could really want, right? Don't they have Indiana on the slate today? So, I mean.
Yeah, like Pirtle only played 24 minutes in his first game back. I don't really know what its minutes are going to look like. This team sucks. I hate betting on them. Like, I don't know. It's kind of tough. And also when you look like behind, if Vucevic, assuming he's out, behind, what's his name? Collins, I mean, there's nothing again. So you could see small ball city, which they've done a ton on the Bulls side. And then if you have small ball city, you're not putting Jakob Pirtle back in the game. You'll put, Chris Boucher or one of these other, bigs out there. So yeah, I don't have a strong take. This game could be interesting just because both teams are so bad and it might be competitive, but like, I don't know who would actually benefit. Like maybe like a Kevin Huerter if they haven't caught up on his pricing yet. But like, who can actually score? Like, I'm not betting Giddey to score 18 points. They can keep lining him where the fuck they want. I'm not going to bet that. You know what I mean? So I don't know who's like, someone's going to score in these Raptors. It's just like your guess is as good as mine on who's actually going to be able to capitalize.
Yeah. Ugh, God, it's so gross. And I saw Chalk Booz-Ellis didn't do shit in his most bet time as well. So maybe this is a game I go back to him because everybody bet on him last game and they all hate him now. So hey, maybe this would fit my quote unquote model of nothing, but it's just betting on him after he sucks. And I mean, nobody's guarding him in Toronto there either. So I think that's gonna be a fun spot for some props, for some garbage guy props. So let's head into plays 3 and 4. Stu, take us away, man.
Yep, I have a DraftKings parlay right here. We got SGA 9 first quarter points, Thompson 1 steal, -135. I will say you can get SGA 10 first quarter points at -145 on Bet365. I didn't want to do a Bet365 only play. I'd rather DraftKings just is more widely available. But if you do have that, I'm perfectly comfortable playing that. The problem is the rest of the market is 10.5, and every one of these buckets is so freaking important in the first quarter. It's not just like 30 versus 31, or 21 versus 20. So I did do this parlay right here. Thompson steal. I talked about it last game. Oh my God, he's bumped up triple the price since it was last game when I talked about it with the Celtics. And I was saying, like, I like the Celtics, but it's the worst matchup in the league. So, like, be on the lookout, and holy shit, he had 5 steals in the worst matchup in the league. He absolutely dominated, had a fantastic defensive performance in that game against Tatum that everyone was watching. And Thompson's just been like, these guys are awesome. They're great on ball defenders. It's just like a plug-in parlay piece to get it to a reasonable number, but I do like Thompson's steals. I'll probably play 2 and 3 steals once again, just because they're the fresh team. You got Denver coming off the back-to-back, and the Pistons fucking want it right now. They're playing hard as hell. I think honestly, all of Thompson's props are a little bit underpriced, just because he's had some tougher matchups against good rim protection teams recently. So I think the minutes are going to be really high for him. I think he should have a very nice game. As for SGA, if you've been watching the show for years, you would know that I love betting on SGA in the first quarter. He's the best first quarter scorer in the league. He's going to play that full 12 minutes for you. And you already covered it. Atlanta's defense, in short, fucking sucks. They don't have great rim protection. They can't really guard the perimeter. SGA is going to do whatever he wants. And when he gets that full 12 minutes, I mean, 9 points is really nothing for him. He's averaging over 10 on the season. He's one of the most dynamic scorers there are. I'm really only looking to avoid this in the toughest of tough matchups. Timberwolves, those kind of teams, like that's when I'm not really looking at it. But beyond that, I think this is a great spot. He's had some tough matchups recently. I think this is going to be a good opportunity for him to take advantage of a lot softer opportunity. So love SGA in the first quarter. It's ungodly consistent. The minutes are going to be there. The volume's going to be there. And yeah, I don't see Atlanta giving him many roadblocks whatsoever. Like I said, I think Atlanta's almost better. So, I mean, Daniels is going to be there. Obviously, the steals are great, but he hasn't really had problems in that matchup before. And I mean, no offense to Daniels, he's killing it in the stat sheet, but like, I'm not running away from such a consistent prop like this for that matchup. So give me SGA 9 first quarter points, paired it up with steal. And yeah, minus 135, a little bit juicy. Like I said, bet 365, you can go to 10 points as well. Probably wouldn't play that 10.5 beyond that. I'd rather just, get the parlay going right here.
Good looks. Yeah, that game should be close too. So, I mean, we should keep that game close. I'll be in the same game, rolling with Jokic, minus 125 on his rebounds assists, at 21.5, facing off against Detroit tonight. Obviously, Jokic is, like I said, a league of his own. Coming off of 38 minutes last night, a little nervous, right? A little bit scared off a back-to-back, but like, let's look at the matchup. Like, he had a really tough matchup off a back-to-back. I think it was last month. Played New Orleans, played a full allotment of minutes, then goes from New Orleans, plays at Orlando, right? He plays Orlando, one of the better paint defenses in the league. Goes out there and just casually in 31 minutes, because they blew the doors off him, goes for 28, 10, and 12. There's a lot of other examples if you want to look at like back-to-back games. Like another example would be like I had a couple of these circled. He played the Spurs on the second end of a back-to-back. He played 46 minutes into an overtime. It went for a 40-point triple-double in that game. So like, I don't think Malone has any issue playing this dude off a back-to-back. We've seen him play 38, 40 minutes in some of these second games, and this is an important game, right? This is a game that you want to show, like, yeah, you just lost to the Bucks, and now it's like, all right, well, what are we going to do here, right? We gotta get this right back on ship. And I mean, I don't remember. I think they're how far? They're already 9.5. Damn, I didn't know they were 9.5 back. Holy shit. They're 9.5 back of OKC still, and it just keeps getting stretched out further and further. I had no idea it was that far. But I also looked, too. Their next game isn't until Sunday, and then they're playing at Boston, right? So you have like a 3 or 4 day rest before you get to play that next Boston game. So that obviously gives me a little bit more. So you got to check those schedules on some of these, too, because like if it's like a day in between, then I'd probably be holding off. But enough time in between, and this dude is just a wagon, man. It's just, how do you get away from these numbers? We've seen a lot more teams send a double, right? We've seen a lot more teams send doubles early. We saw it in the Pistons game. That's why he had 19 assists in that game. I think there's really no one here that I'm like worried about too much. I don't want to, downside my guy Duren, because I love Jalen Duren, but when you have a guy out here like Jokic putting up 18.5 rebound chances over his last 10 games, over 20 in his last 5. You go to his potential assist, dude. He is second behind Trae Young pretty much the entire time, and this dude has just been awesome for me. I Yeah, dude, this back-to-back numbers are pretty absurd. I just used the last 2 or 3. But yeah, if you want to dig more, you're going to see this guy is he's a wagon no matter what, man. And that's the thing is you have Duran down there who will force you in the paint, right? That's something you obviously like. We should see a lot of outside shots here in this game. One thing that I do like too, if we don't have Aaron Gordon, right, which he's questionable, we've seen him, out for a little while, and now he's coming back on this. Like, obviously, I'll probably just unload a nuke on Cade then if I don't have to worry about Aaron Gordon because they're like the same size. I don't know if people know that. Obviously, Cade's a little bit lighter, but if I don't have Gordon here, obviously a little bit more rebounding chances. Also, Christian Braun is that dude, bro. I fucking love that guy. That guy is not just a DFS guy. He's good. Like, he's really, really good, but he's really good at slashing and getting those setup shots. Dude, I don't remember how many I counted last night where I saw Christian Braun getting assists from Jokic, bro, because he just plays so well off of him. He's like a perfect fit in that offense. So since we've seen Christian Braun really take that step forward, we're seeing him in that 35, 38-minute mark, which we were seeing him obviously bench piece last year, 20, 22 minutes. Earlier this year, he's 25 to 29. They're just full bore letting this dude run now. And even when Aaron Gordon's playing, he is getting that full allotment of run. And I thought, when Michael Porter Jr. came back in and Jamal Murray came back in, we'd see a little bit, of a downtick. Bro, it's actually more. Like, this dude plays perfect basketball off of Jokic. He plays perfect in this offense. So I think that obviously is another thing that will help us out here too. And I guess if I could, I would probably bet Jalen Duren over 4.5 fouls, bro. I'd be hammering that shit.
You're saying the doubles. I was like, I bet they don't double instantly. And then once Duren picks up 2 quick ones, that's when it really comes in quickly because he has gone better at avoiding that. But come on. I mean, this is still one of the
Jokic's about to fucking put a pirouette on this dude.
Yeah, and when that's in the scouting report and a guy as smart as Jokic is down there, I mean, it's pretty easy to take advantage of. And I agree. I mean, how many guys do you have in the league that can get you 14 rebounds or 14 assists on any given day? There's one other guy. His name's Russell Westbrook. He's on the team, and he's on the bench. So it's Jokic. He's the one guy that can do that for you. And, yeah, I will never have anything bad to say about his rebounds, assists, especially in a matchup like this, where it actually should be close and a lot of fun. And like Tyrone said in the chat, I was really surprised how good those back-to-back stats are because just logically, like how good he is, you got to think like it's okay to it's okay to not be 100% on those back-to-backs to conserve your body. You know what I mean? Like when you're such a grinder and you're playing every single game, like that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And then to look at and go, oh, no, it's the exact opposite. He turns up even more like interesting, So I like this spot a lot. I'll definitely be riding with you.
Yeah, Jokic time, maybe it's time to get after it. And like I said, if what's his face, Aaron Gordon ain't playing, dude, Cade about to get a lot more of my money tonight. Holy shit! Yeah. This dude he just likes filling pockets, man. He fills pockets, so love to see it. I don't think we have any questions in the chat, so let's go through a quick recap, Stu, and then we'll get it going if you got any long shots.
Yeah, I do. I just bet it right now. We got Zaire Williams over 1.5 threes, -130. Play that to -140. Risk 1 unit. And yeah, like that spot a lot. I know I played the ladder a little bit as well. Then we got DraftKings. We got SGA, 9 first quarter points. Oscar Thompson to record 1 steal. Also, Bet365 has 10 points. I like that as a pivot as well.
Awesome. I'll be playing Jokic over 21.5 rebounds, assists at -125. And I'll be playing Atlanta first half over 120.5 facing off against the OKC Thunder. All right, Stu, I don't even know what you got. So tell me what you're rolling with tonight for that one.
Naz Reid 5 threes plus 350. Bet365 is the best price. You got a couple of 300s laying around as well. You got 270 on FanDuel. I like Naz Reid a lot for the threes. When you look at the matchup right here, it's the Utah Jazz. Let's think about Walker Kessler. Where the fuck is Walker Kessler going to be? Right under that basket. Right there. Parked right there. He's not really going very far out either. When you look at the Jazz, they're allowing the most above the break threes of any team in the NBA. Who's going to benefit the most from that on this team? Naz Reid is. Also, oh my God, I bet this guy yesterday. What an idiot. Anthony Edwards coming into the stadium late, had the injury stuff. It looked like he was going to sit. Dante and him were both not questionable game time decisions. So I unloaded on all the other starters, and it was an awful financial decision. Naz Reid scored like 0 points, and he did nothing all game, even after the ejection, still did nothing. I bet Jaden McDaniels, even after the ejection, ended on the hook. I bet Mike Conley, even after the ejection, ended on the hook. So fuck all those guys. Cost me a lot of money yesterday, but Naz Reid has a perfect opportunity to make it back. And I don't mind betting really aggressive guys coming off like offers where they have bad games and they barely score any points. Like for me, I think that's a little bit of a good motivator right here. I'm in a matchup where, they're going to be without Ant. The volume's going to be through the roof. And yeah, I think 5-3 is just a good long shot spot right here. I think he's going to take 10 in this game. So hopefully he makes half of them.
All right, I'm going to play. I got a couple that I like. I usually don't. I'm not usually a guy who plays multiple long shots. That's really not how I do this. First off, I'm going to be playing a plus 380 on Trae Young, 14 assists tonight. I think that's going to be.
I like that.
I don't know how he's going to score. So, hey, sign me up for getting those assists. 14 assists is plus 380. I think that's a pretty good spot when you look at his, potential numbers, dude. He's over 20, like in most of these games. Like you
440 on draft or on FanDuel. 440 on FanDuel.
440. All right, thank you. So that'll be there. I didn't check FanDuel. I'm only on DK right now. That's the only thing I have, but definitely like that spot tonight. And I'm going to be going to another guy on a back-to-back because I think we might see a couple guys sit out in this game. And I'm going to be rolling with my guy, Kevin Durant, 35 points tonight. I'm rolling with him at plus 300. This Pelicans team is just decimated, bro. Like they're just kind of screwed. They just have no one there to guard them. And what I really like, Budenholzer telling Devin Booker to shut the fuck up. I like that. Tell him that. Tell him that. Yeah, I like that, Budenholzer. I didn't like him that much with the Bucks, but hey, I'll take him now because fuck Devin Booker. Give that ball to KD, dude. He had 23 freaking shot attempts last night. He finally is like, oh, I'm the best player on this fucking team. Why don't I shoot more? Because there was games before the All-Star break. I was watching him shoot the ball 13 times, 15 times. And yeah, he's still getting 20 to 27, 30 points. Let's shoot the damn ball, bro. He finally got up enough attempts there. And finally said, hey, I'm the dude here. Dude. Like, I think this is going to be one of those types of games too. I love Tyus Jones at the 1. I love that. Dude doesn't take a shot ever. Yeah. So kick it to him, man. Like, I was really, really excited to finally see that. I'm going to be betting here that he is not shooting 30%, 4 for 13 from 3 again. I don't think that's going to happen here. And definitely we could see guys sit on both sides of this game. They played last night, right? They played last night against each other. We've seen Bradley Beal with issues in terms of injuries. We've seen issues with obviously Zion playing back-to-backs and stuff. So, we could see a very, very, very watered-down team here. And from both sides, because you just saw it there, and you're also looking here the Pelicans ain't playing for shit, dude. They're playing for fun now at this point. They were really hyped up at the beginning of the year, and they kind of fell off, right? Because there's just so many injuries. Obviously, hope DeJounte gets healthy fast. One of my favorite guys to bet on too there. But sign me up for KD. Just I don't know who's playing on this side here, but I think this is an absolute just beat down here. And I think KD goes crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch this game last night. I only had a couple bets on the Pelican side, which won, so I was happy with that. But I don't like betting on the Suns at all, man. They're brutal. I agree. Hopefully this coach stuff maybe gets him a little fired up with how public it's being. These guys are just. How many excuses can you make? How many games can you lose? I don't even understand it. They're playing heavy minutes. Durant's going to play 40 minutes for you in regular games. It's crazy that they're not winning these games. So I like the volume. It should be good. I don't know. This team is just a shit show. Who else is even stepping up? It had to be Royce O'Neal one game. And then I saw his lines were so high the next game. I should have bet those unders. I don't even know what he ended with. But anytime you get Royce O'Neal priced like a good player, I mean, come on. This team is just a shit show. So yeah, I agree. He's going to shoot 30 freaking times in this one.
Well, there's that. And not to hate on him, but when you're playing Bull as much as they're playing them 30 minutes.
It's kind of funny.
Like, yeah, and I liked him out of college and stuff, but like, yeah, didn't he get cut by like 2 or 3 teams? Like they're playing him like heavy minutes right now, and with the loss of who was it? Nurk, not really having a big. Nick Richards is not a high usage guy, and that's what I like. Like KD is literally fighting with Devin Booker, and hopefully Budenholzer says, "Hey, you're benched tonight, bro. Sit your ass down." We're letting KD go for 70 tonight, dude, because this would be a game he could do it, bro.
I hope so. And hey, I did see Terrence in the chat said, "What book?" It's 350 is on 365 right now, up in front of me.
Okay, beautiful. All right, we got 3 long shots out there. Again, I don't think I've done a double long shot in a while, so hopefully we can come through with that. Anything else, Stu? Anything you got for the people here before we get out of here?
No, I like that Trae Young long. I mean, I like both of them, but I like that Trae Young spot a lot. Definitely going to throw that in right there. I mean, for me, make sure you're going and following over on Twitter. Like I said, I'm posting daily Instagram stuff as well. So if you want to see them before they go on Twitter, I'm posting like a reel on Instagram first, and then I'll do a little write-up on Twitter. I'll probably stop posting the videos on Twitter. I don't think the algorithm likes that much.
No, they don't. I don't know why. Just like links on there don't go as well.
Links, but even these are linkless ones. Everyone knows the link thing. Like even I'm doing ones without it, and it's still kind of weird. So the ones that are just text do way better. I guess people don't want to see my face, but I'm going to make you, whether you like it or not. It's unfortunate reality around here. I call the shots for now. So, make sure to follow over on Instagram. That'd be much appreciated, trying to grow that. And yeah, I think we got a good slate today. Plenty of props. I'll definitely be posting some more stuff on Twitter. And I even saw you had that St. Thomas write up the other day. I like that. That was some good shit. You don't really see too much insightful college football or college basketball stuff on my page. So hopefully you keep those coming a little bit as well, because that was good stuff.
Yeah, dude, that was way too fucking sweaty. You score 47 points in the first half.
I don't care as long as it works.
You score 47 points in the first half, and you're making me sweat this, dude? God damn. But yeah, hey, you do this long enough, and it's just like you got to mix it up sometimes, dude. Sometimes you just kind of get into that rhythm of doing the same thing. And now it's like mix it up a little bit, have a little fun. Those write-ups are fun for me, but it's like just making sure that we get out enough stuff with you there. And obviously Ant-Man is officially out, right? He's suspended tonight. So yeah. It is Nas Reed City, baby. You guys know we're fans here. I love Nas Reed.
He owes me too. He owes me after yesterday. We got to
dude, that 3-foot jump shot, bro. I love that. I don't even know if it's a foot. Maybe it's an inch. Like you don't even jump on those threes, and it's just splashes.
All I think every time I see Nas Reed, I'm 6'4", I was a center as well. He's every center that just get in the paint, and you're always like, I don't want to get in the paint. I want to shoot threes. I want to step back. I want to do the cool stuff. Nas Reed his whole life just said, fuck the coaches. I'm going to play like a point guard. I don't care. And he's like the only one. He's the only big guy that got to live out that dream. None of these other centers are playing like that. Like his handle is crazy. Step back threes. Like he is truly, every time I'm just thinking of like a high school coach yelling, get in the paint. And he's just like, fuck you, So shout out Nas Reed. That guy's a legend, even though he cost me money yesterday. How can you hate the guy? He's so fun to watch.
Yes, he is. We are back on Monday, back here again. Loaded slate today, so hopefully you guys are tailing. Hopefully we can make you guys some money tonight, and we'll see you guys Monday. Hopefully talking about a sweep here. So thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you Monday, and hit that like button on your way out. Have a good weekend, guys.